All right, garden friends, I did not remember to document any of this process the last time that I rooted basil. So when I was cutting my basil 10 days ago, I kept thinking how I wanted to share this process with you. I was gifted a basil plant in January, the middle of winter, from a dear friend who was moving out of state, and I kept it alive by putting it on a south-facing window in my basement, and then I hardened it off and planted it in the ground. And it took a while to actually take off, but in early July I was able to cut a bunch from them, and I rooted those. And now these basil transplants are cuttings that I took about 10 days ago, and I just cut them. I used a bunch of the leaves. Kind of the bigger leaves are the ones that I used. I really like making pizza with them, and then I just stuck the stems in water. Now let me show you. These 4 stems are the ones that have not rooted yet, and you can see how the ends of their stems are brown. Right after I cut the stems, they all turn brown. You can see that even on these guys with roots. I mean, this one here is super woody, so that whole thing is brown, but you can see that the ends of all the other ones are brown, even though let me show you. Let me pull this out of the water so you can see it. But it just this guy has such a healthy root system developed, but you can see that the very end of it is brown. I think that that's just a result from cutting, the trauma of being cut from its mama plant. But yeah, so these guys, and I put them, I actually didn't worry so much about them getting too much sun. I put them on my east facing window that just gets sun. It doesn't get very much sun because there's big trees that shade it in the morning, so it just maybe gets an hour or 2 of sun, but I'm not planning for them to be inside for very long. The next step for these guys will be to harden them off outside. I might actually even just leave them in the water to harden them off. I'll put them in a shady covered spot outside, and then for about a week, and then I'll put them in soil. That's what I did with the plants a couple months ago. I put them in a pot, and they all took. So it's interesting. I think I have about 16 plants, cuttings that I took, and only 4 of them don't have any roots. Actually, this one, maybe it's less than that, but there might be one of these ones that I separated. I didn't think it had fruits, but I think it might have some tiny little roots that were hard to see. Anyway, I wanted to share that process with you in case you want to have more basil plants from one plant.